Obama judge issues sick ruling to steal elections. Judges are supposed to be impartial, wise, and most of all, advocates of common sense. Unfortunately, as these traits seem to be lost on many leftists, the same can be said of federal judges who align with leftist policies. In a shocking ruling that appears to fit the agenda of stealing Texas away from the hold of Republicans, a federal court judge in Texas struck down the state's voter ID law. Of all things, the judge argued that the law is, quote, racist and is discriminatory against Hispanic and black voters, according to the Washington Times. This shocking judge shut down the state's new law in a blow to both the Texan legislature and President Trump's Justice Department, which had previously asked the judge to halt his efforts to overthrow the new voter ID law. An appointee of President Obama, Judge Nelva Gonzalez Ramos, had initially struck down SB 14. She ruled that the rewritten law did nothing to cure the previous issues, racial animus, something she ordered to be an injunction that prevents the law from taking effect. It's shocking to see federal judges voting to compromise the integrity of a state's election, and for no better reason than it was supposedly, quote, racist for voters to display ID before voting. Of course, as often is the case with left-leaning proponents, they have trouble explaining exactly how it's racist. The only thing that this law seeks to accomplish is to make sure that only legal Texas citizens can vote in their elections, and to make sure that unlawful illegal immigrants can't, something that is a basic requirement for any nation to function. The fact that this judge saw things otherwise is troubling, to say the least. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton promised to appeal what he called an outrageous ruling. Senate Bill 5 was passed by the people's representatives and includes all the changes to the Texas voter ID law requested by the Fifth Circuit. The Fifth Circuit should reverse the entirety of the district court's ruling, said Paxton in a press conference. However, others have disagreed. Kristen Clark, president of Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law, said that now African American and Latino voters will be able to vote in Texas without any of the suppressive effects of Texas's ill-conceived and unnecessary photo ID law. So how do you manage who's voting here? Exactly what the liberals want, because they know they're going to lose. It still begs the question, how exactly are these voter ID requirements suppressive? Why is taking a basic measure to confirm legal citizenship status considered a vile repressive act that discriminates against minorities? The only ones who would be affected by such a law would be unlawful immigrants that lack the legal form of identification necessary to vote in the first place. Currently, there are 3 vacancies on the Fifth Circuit panel for the president to fill. When the case returns, new appointments could make a difference in the implementation of this law. It's a shame to see that federal judges aren't immune from the madness that liberalism can bring. Instead of approving a common sense electoral procedure that has been approved by the voting people, Texas has what can only be described as an activist judge deciding what Texans can or cannot do based on his personal ideology. It's a shameful decision, and Americans expect more from those who will shape the nation in the years to come. After you get rid of these nutjob leftist judges, then the country can be straightened out. But again, you see how Obama has placed these judges there? And they're getting paid off real well to destroy the country, believe me. Believe me, that's what I'm saying. This George Soros has a hand in this also. because he's even paying off Obama for sure.